Okay, we're going to call to order the January 7th, 2025 meeting of the West Haven ARPA Committee. It is 5:48 p.m. Will each member, paid professional city official, please state your name for the record? Michael Last, Vice Chair.
David Grodberg, Carmody, Torrance, Sandak, and Hennessy, counsel to the committee.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, approval of the December 3rd, 2024 regular meeting minutes. I'd ask for a motion to waive the reading of those minutes.
Motion to waive.
Got a motion and a second. All right, thank you, Iris. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. I'll entertain a motion to approve the written minutes from the December 3rd, 2024 meeting as presented in the packet.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Is there a second? Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? All right. Motion passes unanimously. Yep. Motion to approve the agenda as printed. Motion to approve. Is there a second? Any discussion? Add-ons? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, the agenda is set. Okay. The 2025 regular meeting schedule is printed on the packets for all the meetings coming up. And let's see. The updated project list is on page 11, and it's also printed out on the large piece of paper in front of you. And we have our first order of business is to approve invoices for the CARES Act Financial Management 2022-001. The first invoice is 590838 from Carmody in the amount of $20,000, and you can find that on pages 12 through 17. Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Second invoice on that section is for Dow Films for $200. That can be found on page 18. I'll entertain a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, the next section is Child Development Center Roof 2022-02. There are 3 invoices. There's from Imperial Company. The first one is $28,000, invoice number 5. The second one is invoice number 6 for $15,000. The third one is invoice number 7 for $4,000. And those can be found on pages 19 through 24 in your packet. I would entertain a motion to approve, but pending the architect's approval on those invoices. So moved. Is there a second? Seconded by Gary. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next, we have the Parks Fund 2022-003. We have 2 invoices for Frankston Fence for link replacement at the Painter Park on Kelsey Avenue. The first one is invoice 13682 in the amount of $6,508. The second is invoice 13693 in the amount of $1,955. Franks and Fence is on state contract, and those invoices and pictures can be found on pages 25 through 35 in your packet. I would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
By Gary, is there a second? Seconded by Iris. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next, we have a estimate for Ivy League landscaping for $2,485. That is can be found on pages 36 through 38 of your packet. And that is for drainage work along Kelsey Avenue around the park. And I would entertain a motion to approve. Iris, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Gary. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to Food Bank 2022-004. We have an invoice from New Reach in the amount of $7,019.38. That can be found on page 39 in your packet. And I would entertain a motion to approve. Is there a second? Seconded by Iris. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
I should note for the record, I looks like we don't have an approval form for that invoice. With the committee's permission, I will prepare one and indicate the approval of all the members present at the meeting.
Good. Okay, we are moving on to Stormwater Management 2022-008. We have an invoice for Cirilli Construction for $44,496. That can be found in your packet, pages 40 through 46. And I would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve. A second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. We have nothing to report for broadband access for the library, which will bring us to City Hall windows 2022-14. There's two invoices for Hoffman Architects. The first invoice is $26,7704. The second invoice is $26,7721. The first invoice is in the amount of $2,020. The second invoice is $1,457.50. And those can be found in your packet on pages 47 and 48. And I would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Gary. Is there a second? By Dwight. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Fire Districts, Allentown, 2022-015. We have two invoices. The first invoice for Russell and Dawson for $600. The architect, that can be found on pages 49 and 50 in your packet. And I would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Iris. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, we've got diversity construction, which can be found on pages 51 through 53 in your packet, in the amount of $90,440. And I would entertain a motion to approve. Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. Any discussion?
No discussion other than at this point the block work is done, the trusses are on, and they're moving ahead pretty quickly.
Excellent.
My only question on the paperwork was whether the architect had signed off on the payment certification.
We have one with his signature. It may not have made the book, but it won't be submitted until that's signed.
Any other discussion on that invoice? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, we also have two estimates. The first one is MES Shipmans in the amount of $26,964. And again, this is for the Fire District Allentown. This is for clothing and rescue equipment. And it can be found on page 54 of your packet. And I would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Seconded by Iris. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. We also have an estimate from Northwest Hills Automotive in the amount of $48,420.40. That could be found on pages 55 and 56 of your packet, and that is for a vehicle for the fire marshal in Allentown, and I would entertain a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any discussion?
Dave, that's off a state bid list that meets all procurement requirements.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. We've got no updates. There's no business before the Center or West Shore Fire Districts, which brings us up to the Boardwalk Monitoring Cameras 2022-018. And we have 6 invoices for utility communications, which can be found on pages 57 through 63. Those are estimates. These are estimates. The first estimate is 1972 in the amount of $13,272.04. The second estimate is estimate 1973 in the amount of $26,544.08. Then we have 1974 for $13,272.04. We've got estimate 1962 in the amount of $13,272.04. We've got the animal shelter estimate at $45,854.16. And we have public works in the amount of $7,272.16. The first 4 were for parking lot cameras at Main Street, Savin Rock 1 and 2, City Hall parking lot, and Curtis Street parking lots.
Mike, can you go over to the estimate 1972?
Sure.
On our document, it says
13,272.04. Oh, sorry. It's 13,272.04. And again, those are on pages 57 through 63 in your booklets. And I would entertain a motion to approve those estimates.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? There's a second. Is there any discussion or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, we don't have any action on the Painter Park tennis courts or the Under the EMS premium pay, the MARB is approved $2,500 per individual for premium pay. Haley School ADA ramp, metal ramp rails are being fabricated. 2023-011, the electrical main breakers circuits at city buildings. Contract was signed for Noble Community Center. The bleacher repair work at Veterans Field, funding is approved by the City Council in the amount of $125,000. Community mental health needs, 2023-14. There is a progress report from Bridges Healthcare covering the period May 15th through December 31st, and that is in your packet for review. Support for the arts community funding, we have no business. Storage shed at the police department, the MOU was signed. Paving 2023-20, MOU was signed. Youth programs 2023-021, MOU was signed. Facility upgrades 2023-022. We have 4 estimates from Classic Drywall. These are for projects in City Hall, and they can be found in your packets on pages 68 to 71. The first estimate is estimate number 1079 for $3,180, and it's for resurfacing in the assessor's office on the first floor. Estimate 1081 for $4,550 is for a new commercial grade countertop in the assessor's office. Estimate 1082 for in the amount of $3,300 is for new cabinets and facing in the city clerk's office. And estimate 1083 is for $5,625, and that's for new commercial grade countertops in the city clerk's office on the first floor. And again, those are all estimates from Classic Drywall, and I would entertain a motion to approve. Is there a second? Seconded by Iris. Is there any discussion or questions? Seeing none?
Only question is as to procurement. If the jobs are taken together, they exceed 10,000. I don't know if Classic Drywall is on the state bid list or what the story is with that.
So each of those projects, I understand, are in different parts of City Hall.
Okay,
And are different projects.
got it.
And Classic Drywall does have a unique identity number of completed vendor checklist, and I believe multiple bids were sought after, according to Andy.
Perfect.
Thank you. Any other discussion or questions? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, library site development, there's nothing on the agenda. Housing Crisis Grant Fund. We have a contract in front of us for a lease for the Warming and Cooling Center located at 689 Campbell Avenue. It can be found, the contract is signed by the city and can be found on pages 72 through 82 of your packet. It's with Campbell Common Associates. The annual amount is $45,600 or $3,800 a month. It will be paid quarterly at $11,400. And I would entertain a motion to approve. Is there a second? I've got a motion and a second. Is there any questions or discussion?
Yes. What happens to this property when they're not using it for warming?
So the answer, Dwight, is it's going to be a warming center, a cooling center, and other activities, possibly for homeless people. I was not involved in the negotiation of this lease, but I'm told that it'll be used year-round by the city.
Who will be in charge of it?
Rick Fontana, Emergency Operations Director, and there is a guard fee that goes on top of this. There'll be a guard that will be at the facility when it's open to protect the city's interests.
Okay, thank you.
I just had a question about the mechanics. We're just approving a contract, and the quarterly payments will be presented and voted on down the road. So we don't need approval forms for the contract itself.
Correct.
Thank you.
Ken, I had a question that you may or may not know. I looked at the lease. Are the utilities included in that price?
I believe they are. I thought I saw it somewhere. I don't want to swear to it. But, Dave, you have the book with you? Can you look real quick?
Yeah, I'll flip through it quick right now.
You know, it doesn't say, actually.
It does. My
Yeah,
question
I don't
was,
see anything about utilities either way.
will that be coming back to this committee, or will the city be covering the cost of the utilities on that?
I think utilities are included. I'll find out.
Okay.
It says nothing that the tenant is responsible for any utilities. So I'll find out and get back to you.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or comments on the contract for the warming and cooling center? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously, and we'll just get a clarification on the utilities. Let's see.
We have some new business.
Yes, we've got one more though. There's the Parks Fund. It might be covered under the new business also. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it is. Okay, so under new business, we've got two invoices from New Reach under 2022-004. The first invoice, number 2, is for $2,178.02. The second invoice, number 5, for New Reach is $2,573.63. And those are not in your booklet. They are listed here on the addendum. And I would ask for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Okay. Is there any discussion or questions on those two invoices? Yeah, the first invoice is for $2,178.02, and that's invoice number 2. And number 5 is in the amount of $2,573.63. Any other discussion, questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
And with the committee's permission, I will fill out the appropriate approval form, filling in the initials of everyone participating.
Great, thank you. And the next item of business under new business
Franks and Fence.
Yep, Franks and Fence in the amount of $583, and it's invoice number 13694, and there is a copy in the addendum, and I would entertain a motion to approve. Is there a second? There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Oppose? All right, motion passes. Excellent. All right, I just want to make sure that we got everything under new business. Is there any other business before the committee?
I just want to thank you, Michael, for handling this. I apologize for Dwight giving you such a hard time, but thank you for chairing tonight.
Well, thank you, and thank you everybody for attending tonight. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? All right. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Have a great night, everybody.
Motion passes. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much, and thank you again.